Welcome, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic afternoon. This is Mining the Key Store. I am your shopkeeper, Brian Roma, with PKI Solutions, and I'd like to welcome you to the YouTube channel that talks all things PKI. And today we're going to do a live session delving into one of our November topics, which is getting started with our custom PowerShell PKI module, PSPKI. But before we get into that topic right away, I'd like to hear from you a little bit. If you're new to the channel or you haven't watched a session before, I'd love to hear in the comments, where you're watching from, maybe what are your responsibilities? Are you an Active Directory person? Are you an Active Directory Certificate Services person? Are you a dedicated PKI person and you're just trying to learn all the things that are PKI? Let's hear it in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to chat with you a little bit. We have some exciting things to talk about upcoming with PKI Solutions. We have a new course that we're in the middle of recording that we're going to talk about a little bit more in Q4 of this year, which is the Introduction to Certificates and Keys. I can't even say it. Certificates and Keys. It's a 101 course designed to get you going with the fundamentals of certificates and private keys and public keys and key stores and how they should be treated and how to put together a request. It is public key infrastructure agnostic. Doesn't matter if you're using third-party certificate authority, Active Directory Certificate Services, or some sort of Linux solution or an appliance. Doesn't really matter. This talks about and focuses on keys and certificates specifically and doesn't really get into the certification authorities at all. So if you're interested in that, there's some more information that you can get to on our website. Also, we have our next meeting of our community, the PKI Tribe. It is a group coaching call that reviews topics that we go over with our our training catalog, and also answers some questions. So if you're trying to implement some of the things that we talk about in training and you're trying to, make them happen in real life in your production environment, it's a call to kind of get you past some sticking points with those topics. So this is more than just an academic, did you do the lab in section 2? It's, hey, I learned about OCSP and I built it the way we talked about it in the course, but I'm stuck on X. Can you help me? And it's a group of individuals. We had a really good turnout with our last call. Our next one is happening this week. So if you're interested in that training course or being part of an interactive community with a bunch of your peers, listening to what they're struggling with and how they're coming up with solutions for their given environment, go to pkisolutions.com/training. We'll put a link to it in the description below, and we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about that. However, now that we've talked a little bit about what is happening on the corporate side of things, everything that's here on the YouTube channel is free. It's completely 100% free. And we're going to talk about another set of tools that you can take advantage of, which is this PowerShell PKI tool set. I'm checking I got two screens here, and I got my video production here. I've got my YouTube control panel over here, and then I've got my desktop virtualization that I'm going to pull up and share in a minute. So I'm watching like 2 or 3 things at the same time. So bear with me. So what we're going to do, let me pull up my session here, and then I'm going to cut to it. Give me just 1 second. There we go. Okay. So, let's talk PSPKI. Scroll back up to the top here. And I'll put a link to this in the description as well. This is pkisolutions.com/ what's the whole URL? Tools/PSPKI. This is a custom PowerShell PKI module that was put together by Vadams on our team, who is amazing. And if you're not familiar with his scripting and coding prowess, he's notorious in the scripting and coding space when it comes to certificate authorities. So if you get out there on GitHub and you've got a question, please make sure to give him a kudo or a high five, because dude's just amazing. We've got some really amazing people behind the scenes. And this is a custom module that you can install. Now, we talk about details and pricing on PKI Solutions, and we certainly do have corporate agreements that if your organization would like to work with PKI Solutions, we certainly could talk about that. However, the PowerShell module can be installed for free. It's available on GitHub. So I'm going to skip past some of the details and pricing because we did our shilly moment talking about training and worry about products, salesy stuff later. It's important to note that you need to be running PowerShell 3.0 or higher, .NET Framework 4.0 and higher. You've got the minimum requirements that are here, the flavors of Windows Server 2022. I believe we've been kicking the tires behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure we've been doing some reviewing. I know we've been using it in other areas of testing at PKI Solutions. I believe this PowerShell module has also been evaluated, but we haven't officially certified on that yet. More news to come. And most notable, you need to make sure to install the Remote Server Administration Toolkit for Active Directory Certificate Services. That's super important. And then here's some flavors of CA that you need to have up and running in order to get it installed. Now there's a big button here. Let me scroll down. Skip past it. Come on back up. This GitHub button, which opens up our GitHub repository where you can grab this PowerShell module and download it if you like, and get some more documentation for it. But the easiest way to get it installed and working is, let me scroll down just a hair. There's a big overview on the commands, and Vadams is very detailed with the custom commands that he's got. A lot of what he's put together in PSPKI, and maybe this would be a good place to start. Like, why would I use that instead of any of the built-in certificate cert auth commands using command line or even other built-in PowerShell commands? It could, some of these commands, I mean, if you look, the custom scripts and commands that he's put together are, it's pretty impressive. And I'm not saying this to like stroke anybody's ego, but it could be tens of lines of code in order to do some of these commands. And I'm not going to go play by play through all of these, but or you may not be able to accomplish some of the things with the native tools at all without using this particular module. So PSPKI is part of our standard build at PKI Solutions. In our internal environment, we're running it in our lab environments. We're using it for regular testing. It's certainly something that we have been encouraging our customers to explore, and we're getting traction with that for sure. And we have some contracts with some organizations as well who find value in it. So I highly recommend that you take a look at it. But to get it installed, let me get this. And it's my remote desktop. There we go. It's catching up. Took a hot minute to install it. Oh, this is so I'm remote desktoping into my Hyper-V environment, and so it's being just a little temperamental, shall we say. So to install it, you want to install -module -name PSPKI, and this is on. I'll put this link again in the description with the URL, but you can just copy and paste this. I ran this from an elevated command prompt in my Autolab environment, and if you really like Autolab, or you like to have your own lab set up, go to our playlist, and there's a whole step-by-step on how to get your own lab going. It's completely free. So you can deploy a lab with Active Directory and then install a certificate authority on top of that, which is what I did this morning. Did a clean build out of PKI and then ran this install. And then that brings up a command prompt here. And if you want to run a command once you get it installed, you need to import the module. So import -module PSPKI. And again, I've got an elevated command prompt here, and you get no errors from that. Now, what could you do with something like this? Well, as an example, if you wanted to get a detailed report on all of the certificate authorities that you have in your given environment, and I'll put some of these commands in the description. I know some folks were asking about it with some of my other, and I typo terrible, so I'm just going to paste these in. I'll paste it in the description so that you can see that. So you can get your certification authority and then spit that out to a report on a text file. And as an example, go to the root of the C drive. And here is a list of all, and I've got one, I deployed just a plain Jane. It's a root CA and an issuing CA, so I called it root ISA, issuing authority. So it's an all-in-one. This is all of the certification authorities that exist in this Active Directory forest. So if you wanted to run a report that says, give me all of the CAs in this given environment, that would be one thing that you could do and spit it out. You could also do this right to the screen. You don't have to go to a text file, but here's an example where you could put a report together. Let's say that you wanted to do a report on a particular template. Here's another report that you could do on a particular template. So get certificate template and then the name of the template that's out there. And here's the version of the template that's out there and the display name that's associated with it. And here's another one. Let's say you wanted to see all of the templates that were available in a given Active Directory environment. Let me make sure that this is, come on. This is, there we go. Okay. Wanted to make sure that, come on, minimize. Okay. So if you've got a particular report and you want to see what's been made available in AD, so I'm writing get certificate template, and then I'm outputting that to a text file. And again, I'll put this in the description. Here is a list of the templates that are out there. Now, this could be a bit confusing. So if I go to certificate services, this is PKI view. Let's go to certificate services. If I look at certificate templates, I see, the EFS recovery agent, your basic user and computer template. I didn't constrain templates when they were deployed. I just let things publish when I built out the CA. And we can talk about that in another show. If you wanted to limit what's published when you build a CA, there's certainly a way to do that. And if you look, I know this is a small screen here, but if we pull this over just a hair, I'm going to highlight this and then pull CA services back up. If you look, there are templates that are listed in the report that are not shown as issued on the certificate authority. The report, the get certificate template report that you're actually getting is coming from what is out there in Active Directory as templates that are available that any CA can issue. So if we go to Active Directory sites and services and we go to view, hang on. Let me close this again. We're going to open up Active Directory sites and services. Come on now. And you need to make sure to view the services node. And I've already got it turned on. So you need to make sure, if you don't see it, check your options up here. Make sure to see the services node. You're going to expand services and then go to public key services. And then here in certificate templates, here are the templates that are available for an enterprise CA to choose from to issue. So if we look at this, and if we hit Control A, it doesn't give the count, but I counted these off. There's 33 certificate templates that are here in Active Directory. And if we go to our report, and this thing is just, I suppose I should have restarted my my test lab system before I started the stream. So apologies for being just a little slow. There are 33 templates that are here as well. It can be a little confusing. So what you see here, let me scroll up to the top. So as an example, we see root certification authority. We see administrator and root certification authority. If we look here, it says administrator and CA. It's like, well, there's something wrong here. Here's the display name that the PowerShell command is grabbing. See how that says root certification authority? That's what we see in. So this template display name is what shows up in that report. So don't be fooled. You may look at that list and go, oh, well, this is completely wrong. The command's not running properly. It's grabbing the display name value of those certificate templates. And then you could do something similar where you could take that particular report and dump it to a file. You could get the ACLs on those particular templates and grab more information from there. So let me cut back to me. I only have 2 displays here, so I'm going to cut back to me so we don't get the inception effect where we're doing one inside of the other. I'm checking my comments here, see if anybody has anything that they're trying to say. And if anybody has any thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. But so that's PSPKI in a nutshell. Again, I'll put the links in the description. You can grab it on your own and install it, and then initialize it when you start using your commands. And then there are I didn't count them off, but there's 100 or so. I think 100 or so. Let me pull it back up, because Adams would. If I'm writing a check that he can't cash, I believe there are 100 and something commands that are in there. But let me see. And this system is just dog slow. Yeah, well, not quite 100, but there's quite a few. So if you wanted to do some advanced automation with stopping and restarting certificate services, for setting up your exit modules, for provisioning templates, for adding permissions to your templates, to restart or start your online responder. I'm just looking through some of the commands here, and I'm reading the commands to you, but I mean, it's just extremely powerful what you could do in the way of scheduled tasks or automation in your own environment, in building your own CA environment, setting up your CDPs. There are commands in here for that. Adding and removing curl distribution points, the key recovery agent values. You can customize all of those using PSPKI. So extremely powerful tool set. And so you might be asking, well, this is a great tool, and it's great that it's out there on GitHub. Why is it that it's available on GitHub, but also there's a paid version? Many of our commercial clients aren't allowed to install freeware, especially in highly secured environments. And so we have a commercial version of the software that's supported, that we can walk through configurations with them so that they can make it through the certification process, so that it can make it through legal, it can make it through the cybersecurity evaluation process, and so on, and be certified in their given environment. Plus, you get to work with some amazing people at PKI Solutions should you go down the corporate path. But that's PSPKI in a nutshell. That's a level 1. I'm going to dig in and put some more, basics, like what kinds of things, if you're just getting started with PowerShell commands and PSPKI, what could you do? So if you have specific questions, let me know. I'm going to circle around to some of the other, I saw some responses to the live stream from the end of the week last week, and I'm going to circle back around and make sure that everybody gets responded to. If you like what's happening here on the channel, we have some more live events that are coming. We have some VIPs that we're going to schedule in the upcoming couple of months. Hopefully, as the holidays happen and things slow down a little bit, we can get some VIPs here and run some guests, so it's not just me. If you like what's happening here, I would love it if you do the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment. You know, if you comment, any of that interaction, YouTube sees and promotes it. And so if you want other PKI professionals like yourself to get value from this as well and have it discovered by the channel, that's the easiest way that you can support what we're trying to do here and give to the community without having to spend any money. And as always, I just love being here and sharing information with you. I'm Brian Roma with PKI Solutions, and we will see you next time.